first nor the second, and I don't think this is the last time. They are really growing bold. And, you know, let's just wait. Let's see where the chips may fall. But this is one group that people must start now looking deep and how they will, you know, they will play into the chips of the coming general election.
Some have argued that the One Kenya Alliance seemed to be put in a corner, not knowing which side to support. So now they're just, you know, going with the waves with the hope that they will end up in the winning side. Would you agree with, with this analysis?
I think that faced with the possibility of a sweep by the deputy president, they would find it easy making a coalition, likely joining Honorable Raila. What I really don't, what puts brakes to my thoughts is that Honorable Raila seems to be behaving like it is obvious. They have no choice. They'll join him, and continues to treat them carelessly. And I find that very interesting. As at now, if you saw what happened at the burial of Mudavadi's mother, stepmother, I thought as at now the Honorable Prime Minister would be treating these people seriously. Say that he'll be, when he's talking about like somebody like Musalia Mudavadi, he'll be talking about a team seeking a meeting and negotiating and trying to say where can we meet, what can we share moving forward. It's not just about going to tell him, oh, the last weapon, the last bullet, you know, I didn't use it. I have it. I used an arrow. Now we will meet somewhere. I really don't know why Baba is doing that. Yet without these people, without Kalonzo, without Musalia, he is in for a rude loss.
So you read arrogance. You're reading arrogance?
I thought originally arrogance he had left for the likes of Sifuna. But now himself also, he goes to Kuomboleza, which was a good thing. But having there, he should have taken a tone. He should have taken a tone there to say, you people, we are facing a situation where if we are defeated, we'll go to oblivion. Including yourself, you will be more weakened because Honorable Ruto, if he's president, obviously be president for 10 years.
But before Mudoma comes in, that's at the risk of sounding desperate or coming out as desperate.
It's not desperate. When you negotiate, you must also look vulnerable. When, you know, as a lawyer, let me tell you, when you go out to negotiate with somebody, you don't go there and say, you don't negotiate, we go to court, because obviously you start from the wrong. You simply go and say, look, we don't have to go through this. We don't have to suffer these eventualities. It is not worth us waiting this year. It is not worth going through this. This risk is too much for us, especially for you. For me now, I may go. But then, my brother, this is why I'm saying, looking at me, 5 years, you negotiate when you are down. But when you have only one leg. And
by the way, Wakili, I like your point and where you're heading with this. But again, I'll ask you.
Yes.
So we've been here before, time and time again. I mean, these things have played out in our very own eyes. What are the chances, Wakili, that these in fact, it's the pre-election pledges are going to work this time around? I mean, if One Kenya Alliance coming in, they are like, you know, we were here in 2013, we were here. In fact, we were here in 2017.
Yes.
We talked about the Buddhist.
Been there, done that.
Let me give you something. No, let me give you.
We were here with. So what changes? And you know, probably these are the things that they are asking. In which side?
No.
You know, in which side of it? But now something else has happened, Wakili, and I know probably you will also, you know, actually dive into this as well. It is the Kimunya-sponsored bill which is coming Parliament about parties and coalitions.
Yes.
Will that assist in the grand scheme of things to assist? When people come in and, you know, like I said, we say this is what, this is our pre-election pledge, will it? My worry, and most politicians are like, you know, if it's not what you've done for me lately, is what I'm going in holding, you know, into this campaign. You know, we have a Kikuyu saying, and many Kikuyus will tell you, if you ever ask them, they'll tell you, there's a saying back in the Mashinani that says, Yobo kagana keria mereti.
Which means what?
The bird takes flight with what it has eaten. It has swallowed, right? What it has swallowed. That's how it takes flight. Anything else that it hasn't eaten does not belong to it. It leaves it on the ground. So this is what this One Kenya Alliance are asking. So we trusted you in 2013. We trusted these people into, you know, are we getting to a point where this these pre-election pledges are going to work. Because trust me, I don't think once people get into power, it becomes an uphill task to demand, which was, I mean, how many MOUs have been there? Yes. We were told the first one was torn apart by the former president Kibaki. Is like, what's the MOU?
No.
So this is the history this is
Which
the history we
history? I don't know which history.
Didn't we have, Akisa, where was this man?
Can you allow
Didn't we have
Even if you're talking about the most recent one for NASA.
We had NASA one, you know.
Can you allow me to talk?
Go ahead, Wakili.
The 202 agreement, by the time they were agreeing, they agreed we'll change the constitution and Raila will be prime minister.
Correct.
By the time they were taking power, that position was not there. Now, evidence is emerging, written, that immediately after the 202 elections, 203, President Kibaki offered to Honorable Raila vice presidency. And Raila said, no, it is written.
Yes.
You understand that?
I've heard about that.
The latest is between Uhuru and Ruto. Coalition. Where they agreed 50-50. 50-50. The Uhuru one is the first 5 years. Actually, the deputy president had his prime time.
Yes.
His word was law. If he said, Mudoma, you're going to be minister, what? It is... They went back for elections. Again, it was honored until Baba came in and said, and then that's when the son of Jomo started saying, okay, my brother, go slow. This thing is a relay. So I really don't think when we talk about, this post-election, whatever, that is, but going now, you can see that what is being crafted, Honorable Ruto wants one big party. And that was the original design of Jubilee. These other people seem to say, we want to retain our parties.
Right.
And we can move together. Now, that is the motive of the Kemunya bill.
Yes.
Kemunya will not bring a bill unless the bigger, the big picture has been taken into account. Originally, it was to be taken into account under BBI. Now, BBI is not there. So they are taking a shortcut. All this will be to accommodate these people. What worries me, originally I thought it would be easy to negotiate with Mudavadi. But I can see some element of anger in his heart, in his thinking, just because he's a cool gentleman who doesn't want to ruffle feathers. But you can see there's some determination.
Past experiences, perhaps? Would you blame him?
I think the way he has been mistreated.
Yes.
The way Baba has allowed some young people to insult him in 2013, I think 2017. He even just decided to be head of secretariat.
Correct.
But I still think that if I was in Baba's team, he is a guy that I would take elders, I would take people. That's where you take people like Nyongo, that's where you take people like Oparanya, that's where you take serious negotiators to go and say, the son of Molodo, the chief chicken seller, is going to eat us all. So please, even if I did wrong, I prostrate for the sake of our own images, our political careers, our families. Let us combine. I know they will tell Baba, you should have gone. You should have gone, these people should have allowed us. Then, Baba, if I was on Baba's side, I would say, you see, there is an eventuality which we didn't envisage, which has happened. The outgoing president, who you know has weight, because he has state resources, he can give you money, he has connection. Somehow, this is not a political strategy you bank, you bank on. But fortunately, it has fallen on me. That is why I'm saying, let us take advantage of this to see if we can get power. Then inside the power, somehow there's no way that if Raila became president, he would not promise Mudavadi and say, Bwana Mudavadi, my brother, you have been minister and you are talking about economy and so on and so forth. Ministry of Finance and Devolution and this one. These 4-5 ministries, kwako. Bwana Kalonzo, these 3 former energy and this one, kwako.
But
easier said than done. You know, Akisa.
Then the son must give the son of Jomo also.
Yeah, apart from the current antagonism that we are seeing happening, there's also something I think Honorable Musalia and Kalonzo, really the One Kenya Alliance, they are bringing into the fore. Mainly the 3 the three former NASA members. You're looking at Wetangula, you're looking at Kalonzo Musyoka, and then again there's the son of Mululu.
Even Wetangula is in the equation.
Right, but you see, the first three, now he's in the equation, but the first three, you see, there was a serious undercut for, somebody like Wetangula. And I don't see how will he even start. Immediately the things happened, what happened in 2017, he was actually among the first casualties in the Senate.
Yes.
He was really reduced to, and I think those are some of the things that I feel, may take time for them to forgive. And, they've made their demands, actually, not even their demands, they've made their statements, which is, we've supported you, and this they are telling Baba, that we've supported you for all this time, through and through. Now, I feel it's time you come around. But Baba on the other side, which you have to give credit, you have to give credit to Baba. At this point, what he has done is, he has said, me, I've set up my house, I bring in the Azimio La Umoja. I'm actually building it. My party, even if you're calling it ODM before you talk about Azimio, ODM really has national grassroots, mechanisms. But your parties, he's pointing at Kalonzo, Mambo Yako New Kambani, looks at Musalia on this one, tells you, man, you are largely Western. So I think if we are to align who should be supporting who, it is you guys. And I think that's the kind of stage I feel Honorable Raila is setting. But it may work. Or it may not work. And the chances of it not working are quite high.
When I started by saying some of the remarks that Raila Odinga made at the burial of Mudavadi's stepmom, and there was a lot of politicking in that particular function. I want us to take a look at what both Raila and Mudavadi said, then we get back to that.
Nitasema hallelujah. Kama ni mzee Raila, nitasema bas, imefanyika.
Lakini mimi najua barabara yetu na Musalia itakutana tu. Tuko pamoja. Mimi najua ya kwamba mimi na hakika tutatembea pamoja.
Raila Odinga is speaking with a lot of confidence that this is going to happen.
You needed to have listened to the whole of that thing.
It's easy to tutatembea pamoja. No, it's what I was telling you earlier. He feels, he set up his stage actually with Azimio La Umoja, and he feels it's the high time because, I have a better national footprint than all of you in One Kenya Alliance. Now, One Kenya Alliance, on the other hand, they've stuck to their guns. My friend, the third time, how will it be a charm? We've been this, we've done. So I think when it comes down to the wire, they may expect that. Now, the one thing that we have to be very clear about, and this is something I question Wakili all the time, is if One Kenya Alliance actually make their threat to go to the ballot. They've done it once. Musalia has done it, Kalonzo has done it. So it's not something new that they're repeating. And they can say, you know what, let the chips fall where they may. If we are going to set up anything, let it come post. And guess what, Akisa, they've done it once, they can do it again.
What he's saying, I've said there is some anger I see when you analyze Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, as he speaks, as he talks, you can see some element of anger. And the worry is, he can simply say, I don't care. If Ruto becomes president,
who cares? Yeah.
But then that will be dangerous for Honorable Raila. Because that will easily bury Baba. They'll say, Ata kama tunashindwa, let it be.
Yes.
But he will be out of the way. So, you saw that clip. That clip is half of it. Baba was saying, the whole of it was saying, my one bullet. I still have it. I use an arrow. And our path will meet. We have 8 months. This is not the time to say, somehow our path will meet.
No.
If you are the person who stands to lose more, then your language differs.
Unless he doesn't think he stands to lose more.
He may think so, but at the burial of Musalia's mother, your speech must be different. You must be very reconciliatory. You must be very compassionate. You must be saying, my brother, I think we really need one man, and I need you. But there he goes and talks like that, hoping. The same hope he may have is the same hope these people may have, could have that.
Let me throw something else. Right. Let me throw something else in the works.
Yes.
So that then Raila Odinga is perhaps setting up a contingency plan
Yes.
We have seen the Democratic Action Party of Kenya being launched this week.
Yes.
By Eugene Wamalwa was the MC, but of course,
to divide Western.
We know that looks like something that is meant, and they've said that they are going to support Raila Odinga. And pundits have said, could this be Raila Odinga's Trojan into Western Kenya in the event Mudavadi does not budge?
It could, but you see, if Mudavadi goes all the way to the ballot, people pay a premium for the presidential election. If they feel that their son has a near chance, and I've told you about the mathematical chances, if they feel has a near chance of making it, they will actually support him. All right? And so probably what may come out to play is dividing the Western bloc, because that actually will work to the favor of Honorable Raila Odinga. Now, the thing is, it's just a big gamble. That's a huge gamble, because we've seen in the past, you have parties that really, they don't even scratch the surface. Yes, there's the razzmatazz of bringing them out, you know, there's the bells and whistles and everything. But when push comes to shove, you'll find they don't even amount to 1% of the total vote. So would this be something that happens? We have to wait and see on that one. But again, it is something good that we saw coming out. Could be, like you're saying, the Trojan horse getting into Western if Musalia doesn't budge. But it is also a big gamble. Those are some of the things that whether I think I agree with him when he says, at this point, you really need to sit down with serious strategicians. And I think this is something that they need to, there's something that they need to get from the person who calls the chief chicken seller, and that's the gift of gab. Yeah? He can go to Mombasa and call people watapeli and come to a national event, and you think he's not even the one who spoke those words. That's the gift of gab. He talks and people listens. So there's iyo kunyenyekea. You come in such a way that people say, Napana, we don't even believe this man says those things. That is a gift that you need. And Baba can do it. He's done it in the past. So I think this time around, he needs to remove those guys Weather doesn't like. Those people who are feisty.
The grandstanders.
Yeah. And I think Baba needs to start talking directly to One Kenya Alliance, if he at all means to have a pre-election pledge with them. 8 months in politics, sometimes people think it's... But you see, Akiza, that's what we say. Sometimes we think it's a long time, but sometimes it can be short.
It's short. Democratic Action Party of Kenya. and we saw what happened there.
That is a party fronted by my classmate and friend Eugene Wamalwa. We are year mates, friends. It's only that he's been elected, been to cabinet. I'm still loitering out outside, but I know my day will come. I don't know.
No, our day will come. Our day will come.
But when you see a cabinet minister behind a party, chances, basic chances, are that the blessings have not come from an opposition leader.
Of course.
The blessing comes from the boss. So when you talk about a cabinet secretary, who is the boss? So DAP may have come from the boss, not from Honorable Raila. Now, secondly, there is a traditional divide among the Luyas. The Bukusus always go their way.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rest, they go their way. That is where, remember even the last election, the Bukusus, many of them voted for Jubilee. So it is an arrangement where now you can back Baba if the president says so. But these names, I heard you saying like, oh, these people have a national outlook. If you have Kalonzo and you have Mudavadi and you are Wetangula, because they are big names, first of all, they attract votes in Duland.
That's true.
People have confidence that Baba has a chance of winning. Then there are other fringe sub-nations, sub-tribes who feel this is the winning. Then thirdly, you look big. That is why Baba used to have something called Pentagon and everybody. And you get anybody and you put them and say, as we are national, the other people are local or they are individual. So these people, like now, Baba needs them. The reason why I think Baba needs them is Baba, basically, the body is tired. From Azimio, just a speech down there. He went to Bofa in Mombasa to take tea with Comrade Atwoli. The other Baba from that, before he went to Azimio, he would have gone through Nairobi and Mombasa and Kitui and Kiambu and all over. But now you can see, he comes from Azimio, then he says, doctors have told me to rest. The only remedy, the medicine for that is that you have a team of strong people. So that Kalonzo and Wetangula, they are in Western, Mudavadi is in Kiambu, somebody else is in Narok, another one. So Baba comes. The same thing that was done for Jaramogi in 1992 when he was reasonably very old, but he had the young tax. But now Baba has some people, some young people, Honorable Babu Owino. He may be rise one day, but now, when he talks, the church doesn't listen.
That's true.
He has my good friend, Junet Mohammed, a great man. But when he talks, many people don't listen. You need people when they talk. Then we say hallelujah. When we are in church, we say praise the Lord.
So then what is his strategy with these parties? And are we likely to see some kind of infiltration like
the
this
way I see it,
in Ukambani?
The way I see it, Baba is for now mixed up. He needs to reorganize. Even the way he needs to reorganize it himself, have his teams and strategy teams various. For now, people think Baba has a miracle. Baba on the earth thinks it will work itself, or President Uhuru will bring deep state that will bring some votes from the go-downs, and he will become president. I think there is need for his strategy.
And you know, the president just said this the other day. Amen. I actually saw a video going around. Nobody gives you leadership. You have to go for it. You have to take it. And you know, going by just what Weda is saying, I think what also Baba needs, and political fatigue, you know, at his age, we understand, can be understood. You know, and it's tough. It's tough moving from one area to the other, arranging all these meetings, sitting down, meeting everybody who will be part of, you know, of this great team. But then again, I think like Weda is saying, he needs to point out, or he needs to get people who can actually run and make things happen in his absence. And this is where you go back to 2002 when Kibaki got into an accident. You had them. Kibaki was in hospital in London. He led that. He was somewhere in the hospital, but campaigns were going on. They were so charged. And you know, even when he was coming back, the win was already there. He was just actually, he became an elect even before things. Why? Because the team that was on the ground was so in tune with the population that Kibaki just used to get briefings from wherever he was. So I think that is something Baba needs to build as, you know, as he moves along. But I think on this one, I agree with Weda 110%. The political fatigue at somebody, you know, his age, you know, is quite coming in. And, you know, it's really nothing much you can do. He will do 2 campaigns and end up probably, you know, take a rest for a week. And so you need a team, a very serious team behind, who actually understands his vision and how he should, you know, how he should win this.
Still on these political parties, we are seeing more parties come up, but with no presidential candidates.
Negotiations.
What's the game plan here?
You have seen the Kimunya bill. You saw how Jubilee was formed. Very many parties were dissolved or affiliated. Now, there are 2 prongs. Number one, if you have your own party, you look bigger, you look more organized, you look a serious politician than if you don't have a party. Number 2, you can also ask for expenses that you have undertaken to build, popularize the party, going to Northeastern Province, Mandera, all these things. Now you start with some sadaka already. But secondly, you will be asked to write a coalition that when we form government, So there's every profit in having a political party. And you have seen that the people, they go for their own party. Look at the one that was formed by Moses Kuria. If Moses Kuria may receive healing very fast, may the Lord touch him and heal him fast. But you can see he's gaining ground. And a time would come when people will be saying, I want to be with Moses Kuria. Because he has a party. Some of us who don't have parties, you go there, you are saying, is the election going to be free and fair? Nomination, we hear Baba saying, there could be consensus. Start with consensus first. And then you can see people who are inside the house and others who they will be telling, you are smelling Jubilee. Like me, I go to Luanda. They come and take my Uhuru. Now they tell me you're in Takatanga. If they join Takatanga, they'll tell me you smell Uhuru. Just playing ping pong. So having a political party in Kenya is a big trade and industry. It's a mine. Inside it, there's gold or diamond, depending on who you are dealing with. So, Mudoma, please, go and start one.
No, I'm actually reading that
What
bill.
Does that then mean, even as you come in, what does that then mean in the strength of political parties in the country if we normalize this?
No, but what I think will now take precedence is the strength of coalitions. But again, we have to ask what will be the glue that strengthens these coalitions? Because the last thing you want, Akisa, is to bring your party into a coalition and you're mistreated, just like what we've seen with these coalitions. And before you say cut and a half, oh, things has happened, you've been labeled, and and out you go. So I'm really studying this bill, and I'll call Wakili from time to time to just really understand it when it comes to Parliament. But something else, the son of Mululu had actually talked about the very same bill. And this is what he said. When the bill comes, you guys who are going to be voting about this bill, that's not the most important thing, he says. So the most important thing is you need to question the IEBC. Are they ready to conduct the upcoming general elections? Are they ready? Do they have their house in order? And I think, that is something before probably Parliament takes recess. I think that's something we need to start debating seriously. The last thing we want to do, Akisa, and my friend Wakili will tell you, I really fret at the idea of going back to 2007, 2008. And just after Kriegler left, among the key antidotes that he gave us was to be ready 24 months before any elections.
But we are not.
Materials.
8 months to.
No, we are not. And I would really hope that we will not get ourselves trapped to this issue of IEBC and the ability to conduct a credible election. We don't want to go that way again. So I feel even as we were walking politically, like the way they say you can walk and chew gum at the same time, I feel we should have been putting IEBC in order. Primarily for them to be able to carry a credible election. Now, I have to give it to them. They've been able to carry the few by-elections that we've seen. They've actually done well. But by-elections are very different.
From a general election.
From a general election. And talking of which, I don't know why. And
then we get in and talk about UDA.
Your people lost in Kiago.
And the two by-elections we've seen.
First of all, let's get this thing. There will be no repeat of 2007 in this country.
I hope so.
They will not be there. And any spirit of violence we rebuke in the name of Jesus. This country will be peaceful and prosperous. Number two, IEBC is prepared.
Okay.
What they don't have is enough money for now. When they get the money, it's a question of printing the ballots, you have the candidates, and then you distribute. Let's not make this election to look so big that you need to pray and fast and do all this and prostrate and jump over. What they need is money, which they will get, of course. What they need are the personnel. We have enough people. You train them 3 weeks. You distribute those things. Why we want to say there will be? What brought violence? That time was not IBC or KBC or whichever the way they were called. No. What was there is that time we had not cleaned the electoral environment. You could go to any TV station or any radio station and say anything and incite anybody. That could happen then. Then there was a lot of problems at the judiciary. In fact, what caused the problem, one team said, Atuendi kotini, we will not go to court. Let us come out and protect our vote. What does it? Anytime you remove the judiciary in any question, anytime you remove the court, you leave brute force. If you are knowing where I know you and you say, well, I'll take you to court, we can walk to the parking lot. But if you say, well, I am not taking you to court, you will see me, then I have to hide. Because it means it will be brute force. So a lot has changed. The judiciary has come up very strong. The country is very organized. We are moving on. We were able to manage COVID. Why would we not manage basic election if we were able to manage COVID? You people, this country will speak.
I would not agree with that comparison.
Thank you.
I don't want to
Thank you. But you see.
And we have done 2 elections, 2013, 2017.
You see, Akisa.
Yes.
This is a transition election. Let's not forget that.
Something was opened up, even though I did not agree with it at that particular point. This was the Maraga judgment of 2017. Even though I didn't agree with it at that particular point, that was a can of worms that was opened up. And any other person, I think they may just get that vibes of, because we were told an election is about is processes, is not an event. So all these processes that we are talking about, whether from what we are told exactly, must actually be aligned. Right?
To what?
Towards towards producing.
See, we held another election after that.
Towards producing. But you know, come on, somebody did not show up for that election. Somebody,
Don't scare
listen, Akisa, when that came to play, the first thing that we are told is not only an election, it must be transparent, it must be verifiable.
Yes.
So I'm asking myself, are all these variables, are they all in play? And let me tell you, Wakili, if we do not ask these things, let's not act like we know everything is going to be okay. No, you can trust but verify. There's nothing wrong in doing that. I can say you can, I can tell you something, but you going out to verify what I've told you is true, it does not hurt. And that's all I'm saying. If you're saying we are ready, I mean, whether me and you have been in this for long, let us verify. Are these variables, are these processes that we know? We are being told that IBC is ready. Are they indeed ready?
Yes, and before we veer off, there's a question that we had asked, because we are still talking about political parties here. A good point you mentioned that we can talk about political parties every day, but if we don't get the election rights, then we have a problem. But let's go back to the by-elections of this week, and how they've performed. UDA has come out strong in Meru. Does that speak to anything, even when we talk about strength of political parties and negotiating strength?
I think depending on which side you are, if you're in Azimio, my brother and my governor, Professor Nyongo, is still having difficulties calling that one Azimio or Azilimio or whatever.
Azimio.
The way UDAs showed in Meru can be very worrying, depending on where you are, because that was very devastating for the other side. It means that they have gone in. By the time they were winning, my brother and friend, Peter Monya, was in the DAP Fora party, saying how is the good, he knows Meru people, and he is this and that. But you can see these trends. These trends can show that the people down there, maybe, they are moving away. Because number 2 was not even Jubilee. Number 2 was Korea's party.
That's true.
Now, those two are indicative of there's a problem. Because this part, that's where we need Baba to go in. That's where we think the president saying, go for Baba. You never saw ODM there. You never saw ODM in Taita Taveta. So there is, the indication is that a lot of work needs to be done. Because this trend, if it goes like this up to April, it would be very difficult to reverse.
You know what I told somebody? Me and Rhoda have been in this actually for the longest, starting with, the last thing, Akisa, you want to do is to take your opponent for granted. And I feel that's what people, mainly in Central, are doing. They are taking Dr. William Ruto for granted. And every time they do so, look at the eventualities. He did it in Juja, he did it in Kiamba, look at what he's doing. But there's actually a shift of, people saying Jubilee was dead. Actually, Jubilee redeemed themselves at the coast. And the way they did this, I think they just got things right. And here they have a seat, even though they are really not talking about it. It shows that if they put their house in order, at least they can get packets of of votes. Even at places where they never expected to get. Because
but a loss in their backyard. How does that look?
And that's what I'm. That's to me. That's what's mind-boggling, because we are told actually people spend a lot of time campaigning. But like Weda has actually put it, the party which we expected to win was not even number 2. And that is quite worrying when you're looking, or when you're 8 months removed from a general election and you're still not bringing to the core the language that the people down there can understand. Either they've already broken off and they've taken a stand already, or you still are not able to capture the imagination. Because sometimes I say, politics, they must find a formula that will actually resonate with the people, failure to which they'll be chewed out and spit out. And it has happened in the past. The 2 seats that Jubilee lost, they were huge. And I would have thought at that point they would stop the bleeding. Meru actually proved that there is a lot of work that needs to be done. And so it is not all lost yet. If they are able to run, back to the drawing boards and now really start seriously looking into how are we losing this? What is it that we are doing wrong?
Okay.
But if they continue the games of, underestimating people, or they'll be chewed out.
But what do you expect to see in the coming year, especially from political parties? The UDA has made it very clear they're not very keen on coalitions. Many people have argued, and you both have said, it would not be easy to go it alone without forming formidable coalitions and getting the 50% plus one. So what direction will we be seeing political parties go, and even the briefcase ones that keep coming up every day?
We assume that the Kimunya bill will pass. Then you will see a collision of parties around Honorable Raila. I think the Deputy President has made up his mind. He tried it in Jubilee. He wanted one big party where people belong. And I think that's the direction he wants to go. And generally, that would be a good direction. The only problem is when it comes to party nominations. That is now where, again, the party bleeds.
Yeah.
If, let's say, there was a law that compelled the IEBC to conduct these elections, then anybody would clearly see I went in for the party nomination and I lost. But we are far from there. The law is not there. The parties don't have their registered members. I can vote for ODM, then I go and vote in DAP, then I vote in Jubilee. One person, because there's no register for party members. So there will be those two divides. Coalition around Raila, the OCA members are also growing their parties. I don't know whether they'll coalesce. And then the deputy president. What I see, I saw the deputy president in Western Kenya, and he was like asking the people, who do you want Musalia to work with? Who do you want Wetangula to work with? Me? Or it's like laying a basis so that these people find heat from the ground. They find heat from down. The deputy president, Sir Dr. William, knows that if you put Raila out of the way, the others will be less prepared to take on him. And he has a chance of getting in a lot easier.
Right.
So there will be heightening of campaigns, coalition of parties, and now originally I thought Oka would could easily find it easy to join. But what I'm seeing in Mudavadi, when I hear the voice of Wetangula, when I hear Kalonzo, there is an element of bitterness. If it is not assuaged, they may say, we don't care.
What if Kanu pulls out? Kanu seems to be the only ones not very acrimonious.
Kanu ni chama, as we say.
In Oka, it seems to be the...
And I think actually, the Kimunya bill, actually, if it comes to play, it will actually assist parties like Kanu, because I mean, Kanu is one of the oldest parties. It's actually one of the oldest parties in this country, and I see a problem actually for Kanu to be swallowed by any coalition, or not really coalition, by any other party. A coalition. I think there's no problem in that. But I also think, Akisa, there's something that we need to talk about. I see a realignment coming up. And that realignment, apart from what Weda has said, the one I see that may happen is when it comes to choosing the running mate. There could be some realignments again. The Kimunya bill, I don't think it will bring what I would call maybe sense within the coalitions, within the parties, but still a glue must be identified of ensuring that those parties stick together. What we've had in the past has not worked. So what kind of glue, what kind of political glue are they going to use to ensure that they don't suffer the same fate as the other coalitions that came in the past? But after the realignment, once the running mates are chosen, I honestly believe that's when the real politics will start, because then we will know, you will have, formidable, whether it's coalitions, and you never know. They may pick, like Baba can pick somebody from another friendly party. Who says Dr. William cannot pick somebody else from? But that's something we have to wait and see. One Kenya Alliance, as we are saying, what if they hold to their guns and say, liwe liwalo, even if we get 20,000 votes, that's what we bring to the table. What if they just go that direction? They'll have actually created another imbalance in our politics. And remember what I told you. Remember what I've told you, Akili. There's always a mathematical chance of anything happening right now. Even that Weta we are talking about, people don't think sometimes the political hierarchy probably, Weta does, Wakili does not think favors Weta. It may actually shock you to find that, wow, he's right there on the red carpet. So these are some of the things I think my good friend Wakili is laughing when I tell him everybody has a mathematical chance.
No. Okay, is Oka likely to grow into a bigger movement?
No, Oka is already having their team. They can only grow bigger if Baba was not in the race.
Correct.
And if Baba can wake up and say, okay, we are combining Musalia and Dele, then there will be, these things will go into disarray. There will be a lot of realignments. But as they stand, Kanu, the Daktari, Kipsele mwenyewe. Kipsele mwenyewe, I think he's looking ahead. He's looking at the future. He has age on his side. He has money. So 5 years, 10 years, he will still be relevant.
That's true.
And being with the chief sanitizer, that is Baba mwenyewe. If he says you are clean like Pamba, you become clean. If he says you are a thief like I don't know who, you become that. So with him, but he's waiting. I think his major test today would be winning back his Senate seat, which, if he just allowed silver and gold with organization, he can slip it through back.
All right.
So I think with the Baba there as Rane, Oka will start, but they will not grow beyond where they are. Although you are saying that even Wetangula stands a chance. It stands a chance because, you know, ya Mungu ni mengi, Baba Mo used to say. Yes. But he's still having issues with dogs. He has taken somebody's dog. He has not returned it. I'm not saying I know. I just heard. I'm spreading rumors. But you see, when you are still having presidency, you have to have passed all those small issues. And then, now you just so that you face the chief chicken seller and say, "Buana, get out." So for now, I see Honorable Raila, I see Honorable Mudavadi, I see Honorable Kalonzo, and Ruto. Those four, I see them. The others, we will build each other together. We may face with each other in the future.
But also, quite fast, and this is just 1 minute. I also think Baba should go back to where he was in 2017. And this, I'm not talking, you know, physically, I'm talking about him going back to the numbers that he had coming in. The numbers that son of Mululu had brought, the numbers that son of Sekuru had brought, Kalonzo Musyoka. You need these numbers, even before you know, start sprinting towards 2022. And that is why many people are saying, and I've said it in the past, I think Honorable Raila needs Oka more than Honorable William.
And that's why I ask, this new political parties, it just didn't come from thin air, and you've both agreed with me. If he does the same and uses the governors in Ukambani, and does the same in Ukambani, comes up with another political party to support him, just to destabilize the numbers therein, what will that mean?
We pushed a lot of premium on these things we call kingpins. It is not the best thing for a young democracy like ours, and I still say 50 years, our independence, if you combine it, and the amount of years that we've been, you know, in what you call a multi-party democracy, we are still a very tiny, you know, we are still very new in this democratic space. And so this issue of kingpins, I hoped by now should have been cleared, that we should be going to for people who will make what you call transformational change. People who will, you know, not just because somebody who's been there and we've counted him as you know, the kingpin of this area, because that is where all these things are going to peg. Kalonzo, whether you like it or not, you know, there could be somebody like the Maendeleo Chap boss, Alfred Mutua, who's coming up, Kibwana Kibwana, Ngilu. Yeah? But still, they've not gotten to the height of Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. Same thing with the son of Mululu. Today, he's still being seen as, you know, the kingpin of Western. And so I think that in itself opens up for the person of Honorable Raila Odinga to really talk to these two gentlemen, find a way to talk to them, because if that does not work, he'll actually be in a red.
Is it will destabilizing them work?
Oh, totally.
It will not work. Let me give you the mathematics. Anytime somebody has the Gema intact, Gikuyu, Embu, Meru combined, to set off their vote, you need the Luo nation combined with the Luya nation.
Yes.
That is when you are knocking off their vote. And the Luo nation, the Luya nation, and Kidogo from a small community like the Kisis. Then now you are talking. You are saying now the rest you are looking. Now, when you are popular among the Kikuyu nation, it is one nation with the Embus and the Merus. Meaning, if they love you, there are no doubts. Now, when you are popular in the Luo nation, the Bukusus may tell you, we love you so much, but we don't love the other fellow. The Tirikis may say that, by your race. So it is a very tricky question. If you look at the mathematical history, in 2007, Honorable Kibaki had the Gema Nation and a few others. Honorable Raila had the Luo Nation, the Kikuyu Nation, the Luya Nation, yes, part of Kisii and part of Coast, for them to meet. Even that, they didn't meet, because the moment Kalonzo left,
yes,
then it disturbed Raila's chances.
Yeah.
Now, anytime you take away Kalonzo, anytime you take away Mudavadi, anytime you take away these people, who loses? Baba. That's why I keep on saying, before you try climbing the mountain, just go to the neighbors and say, my brother, come, so that we are moving.
Yes.
You can see the chief chicken seller spending his energy, time, and resources in the Gema nation. He knows that if you have Gema intact and you add Kalenjin, somebody needs to sweat to reach you. So even if you prop up a small party in Luoland, it will not destabilize Raila. So why do you think that if you prop it up in Meru, it will destabilize?
We have less than 10 minutes. So perhaps maybe just quickly take a look at what have been your biggest political moments of 2021. And what do you expect to see in 2022? This is our last show this year before I release you to go for Christmas.
Well, 2021 has had its ups and downs. Akisa, you remember 2021 was the time when when the BBI was really playing out. Apparently, it did not go the way the proponents of BBI wanted it to go. But we've been told that has not actually been pushed under the fluffy rug. It's just taking a break. Someday it may actually come back to our screens. But that, said, I think we have seen some things we never thought we would see. We've seen the strengthening of communities who we never thought would be able to speak with. They're coming in of Baba going to the mountain. They're coming in of the Mount Kenya Foundation. It's all leaving us asking, where will all this lead? So I think as we move towards 2022, things are going to get murkier. The political environment is going to get heated, and I hope when we talk about heated, it's only going to be the campaigns, but not the throwing of stones, not the guns that we've seen in Tumeona, not the shouting. in political rallies. And this is something we need to keep edifying our voters, and mainly the people who go out, to these rallies. If you're really not interested in hearing somebody out, don't go to their rallies. This is how we are going to bring maturity, not only into our politics, but we are going to bring sanity, So I think we expect the ups and downs as we move towards that. And, in my parting shot, I think Christmas is on the way. We've done quite well as far as COVID is concerned. Now we have 2 variants. Now I had somebody, this has not been confirmed, but I think the boss of one of I think it's Moderna, who spoke and said he's very concerned about these 2 variants coming together and creating one crazy variant. That is the Delta and Omicron. So I really hope we'll still go back to taking care of ourselves. Many people have said it's a flu season, but more than that, I think we continue praying to God that all this, Akisa, will pass. But more than that, we need to drive carefully.
Yes.
In these festivities, we just lost some high school girls just the other day. I think.
Yeah, 3 Chogoria.
It should not be happening. We just lost other people. 2 weeks ago, was it, or maybe 3 weeks ago, the people who drowned from Ukambani. We need to do better. And we need to be more proactive moving forward. But more than that, let's take care of each other, drive safe. For those who are going machinani like this friend of mine, peleka gari vizuri.
You're so sure? Maybe he's going to Dubai.
Let me tell you, Dubai where? This guy is driving home. Kasum.
Yes, your biggest political moments, how they're likely to shape up next year?
Yes, I think next year one of the biggest things will be seeing the son of Jomo leave office. Some of us feel very bad.
We will feel bad. We'll feel bad. He's been an exemption. He's been a great guy.
And that will be a monumental time, and it will be both difficult, but also good for the country when you see transition, and we see a new president. Secondly, going forward in 2021, what I found very amazing and interesting and sad, we were holding our houses. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't move. For months. And all we were praying in the Anglican Church, there's part of prayer where we pray for our scientists working in various laboratories in the world to find various cures for various whatever. And we put them in prayer and it is in our liturgy. Now when the vaccines come out, then people sitting under trees in their villages as they smoke some things and they drink kwete.
What is kwete?
Then,
what is kwete?
Imagine these people just come and say,
what is kwete?
Please, don't understand. These people, they just wake up and say, I'm not taking
I also
the
want
vaccine.
to know what kwete is before we go. You might be talking about
Let me finish. You see, they just say, no, they say, I'm not taking the vaccine. And you say, what? Oh, I don't think it is safe. And you just come from, yet we have been waiting. Presidents sit on TV to tell you now, my vaccine is coming, and you see him injected. You know what they say? That could be water. They come. People do it. That was part I said is very sad. And those people who continue to do that, stop it. Get the vaccine so that we are able to deal with this thing. These are scientific innovations through the blessings of God. This specialized knowledge comes from God himself. It doesn't come from the devil or anybody else, or it doesn't come from conjecture. So that I found very, very difficult to understand. But it will be well. On Christmas, you are saying I'm going to the village and all over.
Go to the village.
Now, I'm a very brilliant and blessed man.
Tell us.
A brilliant man. Remember, with the corona, the school terms have been reduced. 2 months, the term is closed. But the fees has not been reduced. 2 months, you pay fees. When they open, you pay fees.
That's true.
You understand? Now, I'm not the type of fellow to spend before 25th. Then when it comes to January, I can't have fare for my children to school. I'm urging parents, with these harsh economic times, please stay put. Jesus Christ is born everywhere, for us everywhere. He's not born in the village only. He is here. Sit here, pray with your family, conserve the little resources you have. So that when schools open, we don't send students to school, we have not paid fees, then they ban schools, then we come and blame God. That is wrong. Please.
I have to go.
Please. I'm saying this time, hard times require intellect, require intelligence, require knowledge. This is not the old days when you have been given bonuses and you have been, the offices have closed by 16th and they are opening up 10th next year. Here we have a school term, Thomas. Remember our children who are in class 8. I have a girl in class 8. She's going back in January and she's doing rehearsal at the end of February. 2 months, but the school fees complete. So this is the time you pray with these children. This is the time you conserve the little you have, so that when you send them with the money. Let us not go around and behave like Corona has not been there. Corona has been a difficult thing, but it has also to teach us to number our days, so that there's wisdom in every step we take. Let's not send our children to school without school fees. Then when the principals make noise, we say they should be sacked. That is not the way. Finally, we will be going for elections. I keep on reminding Kenyans, don't expect anything good. Anytime you elect somebody based on party, based on tribe, or corruption. Anytime you do that, please don't send somebody to that business. Then you say you will budget the bills. You will debate the bills. Ensure that if you want somebody who will debate the bills, who will look at your interest, you have that consideration. But finally, remember, the politicians are not enemies to each other. Don't be surprised when you see Baba shaking hands and condoling with William Ruto and condoling with Musalia Mudavadi, and he's not condoling with you. Yet you are killing others for his sake. That's the sad part. I can kill Muduma, beat Muduma just because he doesn't like Uhuru. But so let's not shed the blood of any Kenyan for the sake of any politician. It is not worth it. May God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas, prosperous 2022, as you also wait for my presidency in 2032.
We still have time.
You'll be the president.
We will talk about that after. Let us dispense with 2022 first. But then we'll talk about your candidature.
And we still need to tell people to go and get vaccinated.
Yes, yes.
They have
important. It's very important.
I have my auntie, and I knew I would say this, and she's a very great person, very, very great person. She was, I was pushing her to get vaccinated, and she was like, no, these Americans. Oh, first of all, auntie, why all about the Americans? Why do they want to kill you? I said, auntie, you love Coca-Cola. If they ever wanted to kill you,
they would use that.
So I think we need to keep educating our folks. They are very great important people, but we need to educate them.
Asanteni, lovely messages from both of you, and I wish you happy festivities, Merry Christmas. As you say, Jesus is born everywhere.
And you've not told us what is Kwete? What is
He will tell us.
Specialized brews.
Gabriel Muduma, gentlemen, very good to have you here all year long. So we'll take a break and maybe resume next year. Be blessed, and
it's been a blessing.
To your families as well. I am Akisa Wandera. Thank you for staying with us here on Checkpoint. This is our last show of Checkpoint, but I'll be seeing you tomorrow on Kivumbi 2022, where we also do our last show before we take a break for the festivities. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow night.